Hey guys, welcome back to another deck profile here on Double Sleeved. It's been a long time since I've done my own deck profile. I've been streaming quite a bit more, so I haven't really had time to play. But I ended up taking Cumber to the OCE regional that just happened not this weekend but the weekend before. And to be honest, I just want to give a quick shout out to the community group. I wasn't really going to post this. I didn't think anyone wanted to see it. But with all the influx of people complaining about Gamma, Sin, Gogeta, and Trunks Jeter, I feel like it was probably the best time to bring this up. So thank you for giving me the confidence to put this in. It's going to be a really quick dev profile. I don't really want to go too much into everything. I ended up coming top 128. About 100 or so people signed up, so I was guaranteed, which was good. Ended up going 0-8. My matchups were Trunks Jeter, Sin, SS4, Trunks Jeter, Gamma, Sin, and Gogeta. It just goes to show you how good it is that, even when you're going 0-7, you'll still come up against, something that's really meta. So it was really fun playing against those four decks, and I actually enjoyed it. The event ran really smooth. I probably would play again. But yeah, I'll just go into the deck really quickly. Obviously, you only want one Prism Planet. There's a reason why, and I'll go into that a little bit later. It obviously comes out automatically when your leader gets placed in the leader area. But there's actually a better option later on that I'll go into. I'm just going to quickly go over the Z deck here. So I've got one Cumber, Battle Frenzy. You only really need one. When your life is at 3 or less, you can just evolve it onto your leader. And then the other three cards, I didn't even max it out to 7, but Cumber, Captive Fighter, just a battle card. Cost 2, 1 Z battle card. And then your opponent's battle card with an energy cost of 4 or less gains Servant until the end of their next turn. So, moving into the deck real quick. Like I said, I don't really want to go into this too long. Just 2 vanilla cards. I feel like they're really good, just value for 2 cost. They do have a 5k combo power. You don't really get to see that much in black anymore, so I feel like that was just a really good value to put in. I did run 3 Explosion of Malice. This card is just pretty much a negate, and then you choose one of your opponent's battle cards to gain Servant. So this deck, for those that don't know, there's a lot of Servant kind of stuff. It all relies on playing stuff in your opponent's side of the board, and then them getting so much value out of it instead of you getting value. I did play 4 copies of the SS4 Sun Goku, Otherworldly Infiltrator, so this is an over round 5. It does have critical, and then when it's played, you get to draw 1. So this is really probably the MVP of the deck. I don't know how many times I got to play this, but pretty much every game. And then the critical with it as well, because when you're swinging with 20k, your opponent needs to use a super combo or 2 5ks to get out of it, so they don't take the critical hit. And I feel like most of the time they comboed out of it, so you just make them discard 1 or 2 cards. Pretty good. I obviously ran 4 Fu according to plan. This is the only unison that I put into the deck. It's actually pretty good. You can play it for 1. It's a 15k. You can plus 2. Gain Servant again to the end of your opponent's next turn. Everything gains Servant anyway. And then the activate main for 7, which I got off so many times. For 1 black energy, choose one of your opponent's battle cards with Servant, switch it to active mode and gain control of it. So that's the whole point of the deck, playing stuff on your opponent's side, then gaining control of it. Another MVP of the deck is the SSB Vegito Supreme Gleaming. It has Barrier, Blocker, Union, Patara. So you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, you send it to the warp, you draw 1 card, and you need to use a Goku and Vegeta to get this out. My biggest problem was, and looking back at it and what I would normally fix, I didn't play any Vegetas, so I couldn't actually use the Union Patara. But it's still a good card. You pay 5, 25k. The only downside was that it cost 1 for the 5k combo. So I'd probably just try and edit my deck around that a little bit more into the next one as well. 3 Cumber Furious Frenzy. This card is so good. It's dual attack. It only costs 1 to play, but you can only do it once per turn. Limit 1. If your leader card is black and your opponent has 2 or more energy and a battle card in play, you play everything on your opponent's side anyway, and they get Servant, so this is always going to cost you 1. And then you give another card of your opponent's Servant. I only played 1 SR, and it is SS Cumber Berserker Barrage. I only had 1 copy, so it's just whatever. It didn't really come up much. It's kind of like the secret rare. You only have one copy of it. Not a bad card. If I can find a couple more cheap, I probably will put it up to like maybe 2 or 3. But yeah, not really something that I saw too much. But it is in the deck anyway. Going on to more, I guess this is where a lot of people usually ask, like, oh, what's the spice? You know, what have you changed in the deck and stuff like that. So I actually ran 4 Koromon. These are the eggs of the deck. You can actually digivolve onto these, and then you gain an effect when attacking. You get to draw 1. It's pretty good. It's very, very cheap. It's only a level 2, which allows you to kind of play bigger bodies real quickly. So that was my choice. And the reason why I was mentioning about Prison Planet and how it's kind of like irrelevant later on in the game, I did run 4 Onigashima Island. For those that don't know what this card does, it's stupid. You have to find it though. It's not searchable. But once it's on the field, every turn you can rest this card and you get to add 1 Don from your Don deck in rest. So it's just a bit of ramp. It gets your bigger bodies on the board much quicker. Which allows you to do more things. It's pretty self-explanatory. 4 blockers. Again, cheap, 2 cost. They are 2k. It's just you need a bit more black in the deck. And I feel like this kind of helps you set up for later game when you don't see what you need to see. Most of the time, obviously, I played red anyway, so they got rid of it very quickly. Or if I played yellow, then they just rested it and then swung into it. 4 Toshigi. The reason why I played Toshigi, the effect is okay. You get to minus one of your opponent's characters by 2, but it was more for the 2k counter. And also it's a black card, so obviously really, really good in the deck. It's just got a lot of synergy. Everything is black, and it just allows you to kind of play with this style of deck. I don't know. It's just a fun deck. I also ran, and this is it's in the name, Absolute. This is MVP. If you're not running 4 Absolute Ice Shields, I don't know where you're living. Maybe under a rock. It is a rare, and it's already at like 25 USD, which is like $40 Australian for us. But the great thing about this is if you hit this card off your... you can hit it off your life, but you can actually pay 4 because you don't have any white cards. You only have black. And then you'll be able to actually end your opponent's turn after their battle phase. So Gogeta doesn't get affected by Absolute Ice Shield because it's not a Gogeta card. But for the rest of my matchups, this just delayed the game and really made my opponent really upset that they didn't get to kind of play their game. Coming on to the end of the deck profile, guys, I ran 4 Rain Needles. The reason why I ran these are quite cheap. These are quite easy to get off. They are a 1 cost. And then if you have another Rain Needle in play or another red card in play, but I didn't have another red card except for Rain Needle, these come free. So you put a core onto it. It's literally a 1k, and you can swing for damage, unless your opponent's obviously got a blocker, but it's just so much value at 4. If I could run more, I would run more, but unfortunately that card is capped at 4. Last card in the deck, guys, my SCR of choice, or SEC, secret rare for short, was the Kuzan. The reason why I really, really like this card, 1, it's the alternate version, quite buff. To 10 cost, 10k on your turn. You can give all your opponent's characters -5, and then on play you can KO up to your opponent's character with the cost of 0. So he negs at 5, and then he can actually get rid of him if it's at 0. This also does work with Toshigi if you want to play it instead of using the 2k combo. But yeah, this was my SCR of choice, guys. I really, really hope you enjoyed that. I'm also getting really tired of seeing all the meta decks, and unfortunately, that's what we can only see these days because that's what people are taking to events. So if we don't showcase them, we don't do a breakdown, then we're going to have no content. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this deck, guys. Let me know in the comments what you would change. Let me know if you like the deck or you might take it to locals. And I'll try and get an updated list once I play around with it a bit. I'm just a bit burnt out by DBS at the moment because, yeah, it really does take a lot out of you. 8 rounds. Took me about 8 hours to get through. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you would change, what you would do. Leave a like if you enjoy these kinds of videos, and make sure you subscribe to the channel just to let us know that you don't want to miss some of the next videos that come through. But thank you so much, guys. Take care of yourself, and we hope to see you in the next video.